don't catch no fame, cause I'm worth too many M's, you dig? Hey, what's going on, man?
You ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Oh, I live in the hood, ass nigga. Never got put on, always claiming the hood though. Oh, you fucking with the homegirl, but don't come to the hood with none of your damn homeboys. They don't get a pass. Had the little homies press they ass, where your tattoos? Hey, your mama waking up to some bad news. The plug saying groove, I'm a dime. I was long in the race, skinny nigga with the braid, took a 2-man fade. I'm really from the hood, I took a fucking break to get my money right. But I was banging on the plane in the meeting with Jermaine. They like, poet, oh you bang? They forgot where I came from. I was gang banging when
Sergeant Mo, what up, man?
Right now, cause we don't you ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. So you ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. And that goes for these hoes too. Start fucking on niggas and throwing these niggas hood up. Ha, little dot dot. Heard you gave a homie head in the trap spot. Got a throwaway in the stash spot. Boy, you not real, like a Sasquatch. Boy, I'm so high, I'm seeing astronauts. Boy, I ball hard, I need a mascot. Oh, it, and Swahili, I'm a damu. My little cousin making paru. My nigga Uzi, he from Five Deuce. Pad blows, I be hanging with some real whoops. Gang signs out the window when we drive coupes. Making money with some crips like it's 92. Banging on tracks, banging on tracks. Back in my days, it was banging on. You ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. So, you ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood.
What up with it?
Pull up in the hood right now, nigga. Catch.
We got to do this show because I got a show in about an hour and a half. So it's about 10 minutes away. I'm already dressed. So we got to do this show fast, damn it. Joe Biden is trying to take your damn guns. Not my guns, Sergeant Mo. He trying to take your guns. They're already trying to take him in Canada. You know, whatever Canada do, the United States is going to follow. Let's get into this video because, damn it, I got to go. I said I got to go. I got shit to do. I got to go. I got a club and birthday party to do in about an hour. This is the working comedian man right here. This is the man right here.
And by our next guest.
Here we go, right here. Let's run it. They're trying to take your guns. They try to turn us into the Jews. They try to make Joe Biden try to pretend like he Hitler.
And before we're joined by our next guest, I want to consider how a real democracy actually handles gun issues and changes to gun laws.
Most pro-gun violence prevention Senate, House, and White House ever in American history.
You heard that? They got the most pro-gun law Senate and House in the United States history. This is the most people in the White House or in the administration or in Congress or in the House that wanted guns totally eliminated. Justin Trudeau said, fuck it, we're going to do it first.
Consider what Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had to say about guns in Canada.
Years ago, our government banned 1,500 models of assault-style weapons, including the Ruger Mini 14 used at Polytechnique and the AR-15.
Why did Canada ban assault weapons? You mean to tell me they having mass shootings in Canada too? Or was it for control of the people? Huh? Why is Canada banning assault weapons? I thought it was just the United States had this problem, right? If they not having a problem with assault weapons, why are they banning them?
But that's not enough. That's not enough. We have to hold them accountable and get through the filibuster. We need to go out there and demand that they act. I need every single person that's watching this either at home.
He's an activist. He was a part of a school shoot, but now they got his ass out there talking about we need to get the filibuster because we need pro-gun lobbyists Democrats inside the damn, not pro-gun, anti-gun, right? We need them inside of the administration, inside of the Congress, so we can get them votes. They finna take your guns.
Or listening to me right now to show up at your senator's office over this recess every single day that you can. Show up and demand that they have a vote with background checks and red flag laws.
We also expanded background checks to keep firearms out of the wrong hands.
See, Canada already done it, right? United States is following Canada. We already banned assault weapons, and we already passed background checks. Now they on handguns. What's next? You let them take a little, they're going to take a lot.
Because if you were making the same kind of speech in Canada, you would not have been talking about a filibuster rule, and you would not be talking about a Senate with 2 senators per state creating a fundamentally anti-democratic, non-democratic structure in the federal government. That
they saying it's anti-government, right? Anti-democratic to have 2 senators, right? So now he's saying our system is anti-democratic because of the way it's ran. And Canada run a better system because they got a dictator and they ain't got no senators or none of that shit, right? So they ain't got no filibusters, right? The protect the minority, right? So since we got that, we not democratic.
Makes it non-responsive to democracy the way the Canadian democracy-based government is responsive to democracy.
We did it because it was what responsible leadership required us to do.
And frankly, Lawrence, all I have to say is that I wouldn't be speaking there, not just because of that, but because the shooting at my high school wouldn't have happened if I went to school in Canada.
The nigga said his high school shooting wouldn't have happened if he went to school in Canada. Now he's trying to compare us to Canada because Canada taking away all their guns. I wouldn't have been a part of a shooting if I would have lived in Canada. Well, it's not Canada, motherfucker. The part of the United States is freedom. Sometimes the freedom costs, right? Sometimes it costs a little, sometimes it costs a lot, but freedom costs.
Last summer, during the campaign, some politicians said they would make assault-style weapons legal again. Not only did we stand up to them, but we promised to go even further to protect our communities.
Say we just not going to ban assault weapons, we're going to ban handguns. All the handguns going to be illegal in Canada.
And so today, we're moving forward.
Sure, we eliminated assault weapons. The idea you need a weapon.
And Joe Biden said you don't need a 9mm, Sergeant Moe. So if you got that 9mm, Joe Biden said you're going to have to turn that in when he get control of the House and the Senate. No more assault weapons. You don't need no gun to shoot 20 times or 10 times or nothing like that. 5 is the maximum.
That can have the ability to fire 20, 30, 40, 50, 120 shots.
We're introducing legislation to implement a national freeze on handgun ownership. What this means is that it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada.
Woo! Nowhere in Canada. Not a 38, not a 32, not a deuce. You can't pass no gun on to your wife for protection and nothing like that. In Canada, all guns are basically illegal, right? Assault weapon is illegal, right? That cover the big guns, right? Guns, handguns are illegal, so that cover handguns. Like, what kind of protection are you gonna? I mean, if you ain't got a gun right now, I guess you can't get one, right? Like, you got to stay with the gun you right now. You got to stay with the gun you got right now, and you can't sell it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't buy another one. If you ain't bought one, you're assed out, huh? What kind of shit is that? Hold on right quick. Hello?
From that weapon, whether it's a 9mm pistol or whether it's a rifle.
As a further part of this new legislation, we're also fighting gun smuggling and trafficking by increasing maximum criminal penalties and providing more tools for law enforcement to investigate firearm crimes.
Woo, we're going to invest more. What's happening in Canada? Why they got I thought it was just a United States problem. So you mean it's happening in Canada too with the gang violence and the crime and the mass shootings and all that shit? Because they hiring investigators and private industries and shit to investigate crimes and stuff. So evidently crime must be going up in Canada too. What the white supremacists.
I said, why are they dying? And they showed me a x-ray. He said a 22 caliber bullet.
Now he feels say, look, 9mm are too big. You should be able to shoot a nigga with a 22 because you can save their life with a 22. With a 9mm, that nigga gone. So we don't need 9mm. I just went and talked to the doctor and he said 9mm destroy the whole lungs, right? It destroys and burn the whole inside. So now we need 22s.
Will lodge in a lung, and we can probably get it out. May be able to get it and save the life. A 9mm bullet blows the lung out of the body.
And will require the permanent alteration of long gun magazines so they can never hold more than 5 rounds.
5 rounds. That's all you get. You can't even have a 6-shooter around that for some of a bitch. You got to moderate your gun so it only hold 5 shots. So they're going to have 5-shot magazines. They're going to have 5-round clips around this some of bitch. If you got 6 people, you assed out. One of them going to live. Right? Or maybe a couple of them. You feel me? Because you only got 5 shots. You got to be direct and hope they ain't got no gun to hit your ass back. You got to be like an assassin around that son of a bitch. They coming to take your 9s. Joe Biden say, you don't need no 9mm. Hit it with a 22 so we can save his life.
So the idea of these high caliber weapons is there's simply no rational basis for it in terms of what this is about self-protection, hunting.
These are actions that doctors, experts, and chiefs of police have been calling for years.
And remember, the Constitution, the Second Amendment, was never absolute. You couldn't buy a cannon when the Second Amendment was bad.
You couldn't buy a cannon when the Second Amendment was bad. Nobody trying to buy no damn cannon. Who trying to buy a damn cannon? Ain't nobody trying to buy no damn cannon. He always trying to say that. And no, the Constitution is not absolute. You couldn't buy a cannon. You couldn't buy a grenade launcher. We know that, right? He always trying to talk down the Constitution, and it's not about protecting against the government and all of those shit. He trying to make that sound minute. That's major, nigga.
I also want to thank the advocates, many of whom are here today, for your tireless efforts.
You couldn't go out and purchase a lot of weapons. And those who, not many are saying it anymore, but there was a while there where people were saying that, you know, the tree of liberty is water with the blood of patriots, and what we have to do is have to be able to take on the government when they're wrong.
So, but just clarify, if there had been no gun control laws in Europe at that time, would 6 million Jews have been slaughtered?
I think the likelihood of Hitler being able to accomplish his goals would have been greatly diminished if the people had been armed.
What? If the people would have been armed, Hitler wouldn't have been able to do what the fuck he would have been able to do, because guess what? They would have been able to fight back. Hitler outlawed guns. Like, give me all you sons of bitches guns, because we don't believe you are capable of having a gun, right? Because we don't believe, you know what I'm saying, your purpose. We think you might try to overthrow the government. What these niggas saying right now? You don't need an M16. You don't need that. We might think you might overthrow the government. That's the same thing Hitler saying, right? You don't need a gun to protect yourself from the government. The same thing Joe Biden say. Huh? Word for word, damn near.
Within 2 months from coming into force of the present treaty, German arms, munitions and war material, including anti-aircraft material existing in Germany in excess of the quantities allowed, must be surrendered to the governments of the principal allied and associated powers to be destroyed or rendered useless.
Huh? We want to render your M16s, M17s, M18s, MAC 25s, AR-13s, MS-13s. We want to make all them illegal. Everything illegal, right? Give them to us. We want to render them useless, or we want to destroy them, right? So we have power. We're going to give you this 5-shooter.
Is ridiculous. I'm continuing to push to eliminate the sale of those things.
Brother Holbrook has now written an unprecedented new history of how violence in the liberal democratic society or
Whoa, we got who up in here? Slaphead. Here's a gallon of gas for you. Ha 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 ha. Slaphead, you damn right. It's a gallon. Slaphead, that's like a gallon and 1/4. Exactly. Well, I'm finna go, right? It's a gallon and 1/4, right? Good looking now. Oh, with Bobby Mayo. Oh, that's a whole. Oh, I got 2 gallons of gas. At least I got away to the club. Maybe I get some donations to try to make it back. Thanks. Hey, what was that? Fact check. You absolutely 100% correct. Could buy a cannon. Couldn't buy a cannon. You right, Bobby Mayo. I got gas money to get to the club. Good looking out. Maybe I'll give me some alcohol money up in the summer, bitch. Huh?
System of pre-1930 Germany, pre-Nazi Germany, led to gun control measures that were later utilized by the National Socialists to disarm and repress opponents and consolidate power.
What the Democrats try to do? White supremacists? There's no way they saying any Democrat is a white supremacist, right? So when they say they're going after white supremacists, all of them are far right-wing groups, right? White supremacists. So who is their political opponents? White supremacists. MAGA. Trump supporters. They're going after your guns.
But the treaty was only part of the motivation for passing stricter gun laws by the German government. By the end of 1918, Germany had just undergone a real revolution which ended the monarchy and also led the Kaiser to go into exile from...
Well, we just went through a revolution, a semi one, right? With the Democrats say, oh, it was the worst day in history, right? It was pandemonium. It was anarchy. It was the worst day ever, right? Who I got some money from? Here's another gallon. I'm getting gas money off this. Look, I'll probably go, if I give me a couple of other gas money, I'll probably go pick up this ratchet and have me a busy night tonight. Huh? You hear that, Vincent Williams? V-Dub, if somebody else give me another gallon of gas up in the summer, bitch, I might go and pick me up a hood rat later on tonight and celebrate the good time, damn it. It's June Fool, damn it. Good looking out. Good looking out, Vincent Williams. I don't know how you do the Hell Hitler. We part on this part right now. Hell Hitler. YouTube, is that, can I say Hell Hitler on YouTube and get away with it? Hell Hitler? Is that dissing Hitler or what? Hell Hitler. No, YouTube, not me. We forgot. We probably got some motherfucking, we don't want me saying this nigga right here is spreading racial, information about going and doing some racial shit about Hitler, right? This is some Hitler video. I'm not saying Hell Hitler, this is the video.
Whom he would never return.
Ironically enough, the countless books on the Third Reich and the Holocaust have failed even to mention the laws restricting firearms ownership, with very few exceptions. And these policies rendered political opponents, including Jews who are viewed as political opponents, powerless.
And you are the Democrats' political opponents, and you're going to be powerless. You're going to be powerless. They going to come and take your guns. Better work like, hell yeah, I'm going to take your guns. Hell yeah, I'm going to take your guns. That's fucked up. Hell yeah, I'm going to take his guns. Yeah, you should have a gun to shoot 1,000 times and 100 bullets. No one needs that much. You shouldn't go hunting with that. You shouldn't miss that much. If you miss that much, you shouldn't go hunting. I'm going to go take your guns. You stupid son of a bitch.
Basically what I said is that when tyranny occurs traditionally around the world, they try to disarm the people first.
Under discussion.
And they're going to disarm your ass first. That's what they're doing. Everything is about gun control, right? Motherfucker, gun control and police reform, right? They don't want the police to be on, the police to protect, right? They want to have their own government, federal police, whatever they want, police system in, and they're going to come after your guns. You ain't got no protection. Anarchy. The criminals getting out in the street, they can't lock them up. Jails is releasing criminals. Criminals ain't getting time. Courts ain't being open. People okaying crimes in Canada right now, right? In Canada, this is what they done. They just made certain drugs legal, like crystal meth, like and on the bus and shit like that. In certain parts of the bus, they tell you the don't feel bad about doing crystal meth. Just do it safe. Like what? You telling people to do crystal meth and stuff safe? What the fuck you think they're gonna do after they get off crystal meth or after they getting off fentanyl? Oh yeah, and they got another warning about fentanyl. Fentanyl is deadly. That's why you should use a fentanyl kit before you take your drugs. What the fuck? Canada and the United States is damn near promoting drug use. That's worse than the damn Biden smoking kit.
Closing loopholes in a national background check system, new red flag laws allowing judges to take weapons from people considered dangerous, and more federal money for mental health programs and school security.
Ain't that what Hitler was doing? Get red flag laws, having judges taking guns away from people who they deem shouldn't have them, That's what Hitler was doing.
And that's exactly, what happened in Germany.
But at the end, the Social Democratic Party got back in control by morally very questionable means, by the way, and passed legislation in January 1919 requiring the surrender of all guns to the government in an effort to stabilize the country.
A skeptic could surmise.
We got to get all the guns because we got to stabilize the country. So we need all you niggas guns. Everybody, pile your guns in. We need every gun, every last one of them. How you gonna stabilize the country?
Skeptic could surmise that a better armed populace would make no difference. But the Nazi regime certainly did not think so.
This, in combination with the law on the disarmament of the people, which was passed to comply with the Versailles Treaty in August 1920, essentially banned guns in the Weimar Republic. A real disarmament could never be achieved though, since there was no prior registration of already possessed guns. And after this law, there were numerous groups active in Weimar Germany who wanted and outright tried to overthrow the Republic with means of violence.
Right? That's what they supposedly done over here in the last year. It was supposed to happen. The same thing was supposed to happen, right? The same thing, right? That's why you supposedly have a militia in case the government get the tripping.
Now, these laws stayed in effect until April 1928, when the German parliament enacted the Law on Firearms and Ammunition, which relaxed gun restrictions but put a very strict gun licensing scheme in place.
In the mid to late 30s, they started a program of disarming the people, and by the mid-40s, look at what had happened.
A big part in getting a license for a gun after that was the reliability of the person asking for the license. So when Adolf Hitler or his goons would ask for a license, the government was able to say, sorry, you're not really reliable enough to not overthrow the democratic order.
Oh, you really not, we don't trust you, right, interfering with the election, right? We don't trust you, right? That's like the same thing. We don't trust you with this gun because what you might do, right? So we going after your guns, and we decide if you mentally stable enough to have this gun, right? And we're going after your political views, right? We can't prove that you're nuts. We can't prove that you're crazy. We can't prove that you're gonna do anything. We can prove that you got these political views, right? And guess what? We can take your guns, right? Because now you're trying to overthrow the government.
So no license for you.
Gun control in the Third Reich spans 2 decades, from the birth of the Weimar Republic in 1918 through Kristallnacht, or quote-unquote Night of the Broken Glass, unquote, in 1938, and the pertinent events during World War II regarding the effects of the disarming policies.
But all 50 Senate Democrats and at least 10 Republicans need to agree if any gun reform is to pass.
And ain't no Republicans voting for that shit. They bet not vote for that shit. They bet not vote for that shit.
That's a high bar, given Minority Leader Mitch McConnell believes the problem isn't about guns.
There was the idea in Germany that either all arms or all military arms had to be surrendered, including by civilians.
Including by civilians, right? If you defund the police, you get less police off the street because the police ain't gonna go for that shit. Police are citizens too, right? Right? But if you defund the police and make them regular police, then take away their guns too, right? Guess what happens? The police is also not able to defend themselves because guess what? Hitler wanted to take away the military guns too. Give me all the guns.
There were actually legal interpretations in Germany that no civilian could own any gun and they all had to be turned in.
After Hitler was appointed Chancellor in 1933, these laws stayed in place up until 1938, when the law called Reichswaffengesetz severely relaxed gun restrictions for the general population, but got even stricter for enemies of the regime, such as
MAGA supporters, Betty Boop. Enemies of the regime. Who is the fucking regime? The Biden administration, the Democrats, whoever run that Biden administration, right? It's not Joe Biden, right? It's enemies of the regime. Who are the enemies? Everybody watching this damn video right now. They coming after your guns, just like Hitler.
Jews, Roma.
You get that, Betty Boop? They coming at your guns just like Hitler. They telling you already. Well, we already trying to take away the assault weapons. You shouldn't have 9mm either, Betty Boop. You shouldn't have none of them. None of them.
As Jews, Roma, or previously convicted homosexuals.
It's appalling to me anytime there's a shooting, the left...
Even if you're a homosexual, did you hear that? If you're a convicted homosexual, you can't have a gun, right? So, right, you gotta be a convicted MAGA supporter over here, but if you're a convicted if you're a convicted homosexual, right, you also can't have a gun. That's fucked up.
In 1933, these laws stayed in place up until 1938, when the law called Reichswaffengesetz severely relaxed gun restrictions for the general population, but got even stricter for enemies of the regime, such as Jews, Roma, or previously convicted homosexuals.
It's appalling.
Previous convicted homosexuals, right? Couldn't get guns, right? But why we can't have guns in school? Have you ever thought about that? Why we can't have guns in school, huh? They always talking about schools ain't safe, right? We got all this money for put fucking plexiglass in the schools and new heating systems and air conditions and all this old stuff for the Wuhan, but we can't put nothing up in there for the guns and the sickos, right? What have more students died from, right, from the last 3 years? The Wuhan or fucking bullets at school? Which one have they died from? Huh? The Wuhan or bullets? You more worried about the Wuhan, but more kids dying from bullets. So you put more money in the bullets and less money in the Wuhan, because Wuhan gonna come and go. Them bullets ain't going nowhere unless you make them. Huh?
To me, anytime there's a shooting, the left will jump on that as a way to advance an agenda to remove our right to bear arms. What other right will they suspend?
And
the right to have a 9mm, that's next. They're working on that fast.
While Jews weren't previously banned from owning guns, after 1933, the Nazis took measures to disarm the Jewish population on a local level. And after 1936, the Gestapo was ordered to don't give out new gun licenses to Jewish citizens.
We saw a similar...
Ooh, don't give out gun license to MAGA supporters or niggas support Trump because they might, do what they done the other day. Huh? The other year. Huh? 4 years ago. Don't give them niggas gun. We working on this shit fast. We got to work on this shit before... What? 2024. We got to get all the guns off the street before when? 2024. Because the other one was just a test run to see what motherfuckers was capable of or what motherfuckers might do. Now we know them motherfuckers crazy. So we got to take this shit, you know what I'm saying? And we got to lie and make a commission and try to take the leader out and lock him up and convict him. And we're going to do all kind of shit, right? But we got to take these motherfucking guns. That's why it was just another mass shooting in Tulsa, Oklahoma today. Randy Cage say he take his kids to the same place where the thing got shot up. Randy Cage lived right around the corner from there, right? So remember I was telling you that thing yesterday about you never know when it could be you with all this violence, right? That's why more guns. The more guns, the better. Fuck less guns. Let's have more guns.
Approach as a historian with a doctor in history. We saw Lenin do the same thing in Russia. We saw Hitler do the same thing in Germany in the 30s. Where does it stop?
Right now, we're doing the same thing in America. It's not stopping right now. We're taking what Hitler and the Russians did. We're taking over from where they left off. We're finna take all the guns. Canada first.
Where did the tyrants stop infringing upon our rights?
Jewish homes were also raided for guns, although not nationwide.
Ooh, raided for guns. Jewish houses raided for guns. Who house raided for guns? Well, we want you to tell your neighbor, your family members. We want to do it. Who gonna come? The police. They finna raid your guns for. They finna raid your house for guns, huh? Just like Hitler.
As I said, this was done on a local level. A famous example of someone's home being raided for weapons would be Albert Einstein. In his house, they found a very dangerous weapon commonly known as bread knife.
Well, they need to go inside Rudy Giuliani's house and find that motherfucking thing they call the laptop. You know what I'm saying? That's what they need to do. Since they want to raid shit and find shit, go inside Rudy Giuliani's house and find the laptop. Fuck the bread knife. Find the laptop.
Nobody asked when prayer was taken out of schools, maybe this is going to change things. Nobody said, hey, maybe it's a good idea to keep the 10 Commandments on the wall, because God forbid the kids abide by the commandment, thou shalt not kill. We've lost our way as a nation. So it's a heart problem. It's not a gun problem.
Huh? And these schools right here is getting prepared for the gun problem if it was to come, right? These schools right here, they've been prepared for years, right? It was never a mass shooting at one of these schools right here, right? Never a mass shooting, right? So if you take the measures that these schools take, right, it will be basically casualties will be real low, if any, right? They prepared. I don't think nobody gonna come to this school. And this is 4 years ago, before the corona. Ain't nobody got no mask. This is 5 years ago.
At Southwestern High School in Indiana, the kids drill.
I see they're all running past this red line. What is that?
The red line is a security measure, and that's in place because if we stand behind this red line, if there's a shooter at the door, they cannot see the children.
Right? And Bobby Mayo, they not coming up in there with they coming up with AR-15s. Bobby Mayo say, look, I read it. Bobby Mayo, it was I was watching the news the other day, right? And they said that at like the point you made, right? Like when he went to school, damn it, all the kids carried guns to school because either they was coming from hunting or going hunting after school. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't irregular for a kid to have a rifle in his damn back of his car or in his damn under his seat or something like that, because after school they probably going fishing or hunting, you know what I'm saying, or whatever they may be doing, or they may have just came before school, right? So it wasn't irregular. It's a small percentage, right, of 18-year-olds that's fucked up in the head, you know what I'm saying, that'll do something like that, you know, that'll go out and do something like it's a small percentage, like it's a small percentage of grown people that'll do that shit, you know what I'm saying? So Bobby Mayo, good looking out, fishing and hunting, I need that gun.
This is something schools can do right now. There's a red line on the ground.
Absolutely.
But here they go high-tech too. The classroom doors are bullet resistant and cameras, so many cameras everywhere. And it's not just school officials watching either. They're connected live with the sheriff's department 10 miles away.
Whose great idea was it to declare a gun-free zone of schools?
And they would be there, and you would no longer have a gun-free zone. Gun-free zone to a maniac, because they're all cowards. A gun-free zone is let's go in and let's attack.
The schools should be fortified and strengthened. We didn't declare gun-free zones in airports when the Palestinian Liberation Organization attacked American and European airports in the 70s. No, we strengthened them.
Authorities can track an intruder in real time.
Every teacher here, you have your own panic button.
Yeah, we all wear a fob in case there's a security breach. We can push this button and the entire alarm system goes off in the school.
And something else I actually want to show you real quick. When that happens, every classroom has a box like this, also hooked up to the sheriff's department. The teacher can flip help if they actually see the suspect or they're in danger, or they can flip safe if the kids are safe.
Technology 4 years ago would have kept 19 precious little angels safe and alive, right? They protect them from COVID, but they never protect them from bullets and sickos.
And it's time for some radical action here and change that advances so we stop the madness and get the talk off the table that it's about guns.
Get the talk off the table, it's about guns.
In 2015, I tested it, playing the intruder.
In 2015, look, at 2015, how many years ago was that? 7. You mean to tell me they got this shit in 2022? And they got this shit in 2015? Simple. Ain't nothing the kids in the school threaten. right? All of them feel safe. The system really don't cost, ain't gonna cost no arm and a leg, gonna cost some money, but not more than is worth these kids' lives. This shit is simple. 7 years ago, technology like this, it could have been updated by now. I'm pretty sure it's updated by now. They way more safe.
Showing a male subject in a blue suit.
If I was a real intruder, I couldn't get into a single classroom. They're all locked. Every last one of them.
But the biggest counterattack is yet to come.
He's walking towards exit 14. I'm going to launch the hot zone.
The school's secret weapon called hot zones. Exploding smoke cannons hidden in the ceiling. Cops can deploy them in an instant.
Whoa. There is smoke. It is loud and it's meant to disorient the suspect. I mean, look at this. The smoke is filling the hallway. You can barely even see me. Whoa. The other amazing thing is they're watching the suspect on real-time camera, so no matter where the suspect goes, they can keep setting off these hot zones so he stays blind.
The system is expensive, $400,000, but
$400,000. They could have put that in the rescue plan and rescue all the kids. $400,000. People would have donated to that. They would have had all these private investors, Nike, and all these motherfuckers donating to Black Lives Matter, and all these motherfuckers donating to the protests and all that. They could have donated to these schools, huh? $400,000. Get all of them, huh? Beto O'Rourke. I mean, not Beto O'Rourke. The nigga who owned Amazon. That nigga, Jeff Bezos, huh? Get all the schools this, huh? Bill Gates donated that some shit, huh? George Soros, get all the kids some safety in the school. $400,000 per school. The alumni and all that other shit, NBA stars and movie stars, they can do all that old shit. They want to really save the kids. This shit is simple.
school officials say worth it in this scary new world.
Did that arming and
right, and when that don't work right, and when the security system don't work right, they got the security system. If they happen to make it past the security system, guess what's waiting on them when they make it past the security system? Not no damn guard dogs. Guess what's waiting on them? Huh? Guess what's waiting on them? Yeah. You know.
Adept and highly trained teachers with guns would prevent future school massacres. And as incentive, he proposed giving out bonuses to teachers who undergo the gun training.
Who done that? Donald Trump? You want to give out bonuses for teachers go through gun training and can carry guns in school to better help the school? Huh? This is genius.
Now, the idea, as you know, has been met with both criticism and praise. There's a school in Texas, though, who's already putting the president's proposal into action.
A woman in Charleston is being
right, and it's also women on the street that's putting it into action, right? A gun is the ultimate equalizer because you have a nut, right? You have nuts that's going to do something. You have to be prepared. This woman, I'm pretty sure it's a black woman, was well prepared at a graduation, right? Because if she wasn't prepared, right, she had no equalizer, right? But because she was on with an equalizer, she was there to neutralize the situation.
Credited for averting a mass shooting. Charleston police say it all started when this man, 37-year-old...
That's a black dude, too. That's a black dude finna do a mass shooting. That's not no white person. The reason why it's not on the news because he's not a white person. If he was white, this shit would have been blasted all over the news. Attempted mass shooter get killed. White supremacists, all this social right-wing shit. But since this nigga's black, it don't make the news.
Dennis Butler was speeding up and down the parking lot.
It only works where you have people very adept at using firearms, of which you have many.
That's when he was approached by people attending a graduation party and a birthday party, asking him to slow down as children were playing. They said he seemed agitated and left, but shortly after, he returned to the complex, armed with an AR-15 style rifle, and started shooting at the crowd.
Huh? Started shooting at the crowd full of kids, just came from a graduation, right? And he got an AR-15 that I know he ain't supposed to have illegal. He finna kill a lot of people. He about to kill a lot of people. A lot of innocent people. This just happened last week. He was about to kill a lot of people. And guess what happened?
And it would be teachers and Coaches, if the coach had a firearm in his locker when he ran at this guy, that coach was very brave. Saved a lot of lives, I suspect.
And so did this black woman right here who had a gun, that equalizer. Saved a lot of lives, I guess.
Police say a woman then pulled out her pistol, shot him, and killed him.
But if he had a firearm, he wouldn't have had to run. He would have shot, and that would have been the end of it.
That was the end of it. She didn't have to run. The kids didn't have to run. Nobody was hurt. He got shot, and that was the end of it. Because she had an equalizer, which she would have never had the opportunity to have if she didn't have the opportunity to bear arms. You know how many innocent black kids would have been dead?
I will say on the Charleston, West Virginia case, Charleston Police Department case, this lady was carrying a lawful firearm, okay, a law-abiding citizen who stopped the threat of probably 20 to 30 people getting killed.
Woo, huh? Copycat killer or what? 20 or 30 people about to get killed. I'm just saying, black. It could have been a white woman. The nigga could have been racist. I don't know, right? I didn't get into the story. I just saw the video. They didn't get into the race and nothing like that. They just got into the suspect. They didn't get into no interviews and nothing like that, right? But stop the threat. Kill this dumbass. He was about to murder 20 people at a minimum. It was at a graduation. People there partying with kids.
And this would only be obviously for people that are very adept at handling a gun.
Am I supposed to have a Kevlar vest? Am I supposed to strap it to my leg or put it in my desk?
I don't believe teachers should be armed. I believe teachers should teach.
But in some mostly rural communities across the country, the idea of arming teachers is welcomed, even by some students.
Here's CNN's Ed Lavandera.
We'll do whatever's necessary to protect our kids and staff.
This is the stark message that greets...
Attention, please be aware that certain staff members are whatever.
When you walk into one of the two schools
and are armed and may use whatever force necessary to protect
buildings
the
in Callisburg, Texas. Superintendent Steve Clugston oversees what the school district calls the Guardian Program. It's a small force of volunteer school staff allowed to carry a concealed firearm, and Clugston says they're equipped to confront an active shooter.
Ceasefire, ceasefire. We don't want to be at the mercy of, somebody that's intent on doing harm. We refuse to be that person.
And it's called concealed carry.
When that active killer is in that classroom, that teacher can either have a pencil or they can have a gun.
Where a teacher would have a concealed gun on them, they'd go for special training.
In the wake of the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting, the idea of arming teachers has sparked outrage.
Well, that was the end of the video. Like I said, I had to do a show video, but if you arm the teachers, put security guard, a security system up in there, you don't even need security guard, because I'm pretty sure it's teachers up in there who don't want to lose their life and who will protect the school and protect their life and the student's life, right? You don't need to get to that, right? And that should be the last line of defense, because you should have security systems like automatic lock doors, bulletproof windows, you know what I'm saying, camera system. You should have that in the schools all fucking ready. That shouldn't be new. They got that shit in penitentiary and hospitals and in banks and in department stores. We should have that shit in schools. Huh? To protect the students, right? They don't want to protect them because if the Democrats need something to fall back on and blame the Republicans for, it's the Republicans' fault. They don't want to pass this and they don't want to pass that. And as long as the kids die, you know what I'm saying? Like they say, in the war, you know what I'm saying? I mean, in order to make an omelet, you got to crack a few eggs. And they don't give a fuck who died, right? Because they care who died. They would stop little kids from dying in the hood every damn day. I think 75 kids died in the hood already this year. You know what I'm saying? So if you add these kids to it and really not in the hood, that's over 100 basically, right? So they're not really doing anything because they've been hollering this gun control shit for the last damn 30 damn years, the last two presidents. They not gonna do shit. They ain't gonna do shit, because if they done shit, right? And they actually pass a gun control law, they lose the funding, they lose the fight, they lose the debate, and they have nothing to argue about. So long as little kids dying in the motherfucking streets and in the schools and shit like that, they always have something to argue about and always have something they say, well, I take your side on this against these sons of bitches. They don't care. It's collateral damage. Believe me. You think they give a fuck about a kid dying? Huh? Some of these motherfuckers do the worst things ever to kids, right? They with kid abortion. They with kid changing their sex. They with after birth and the baby died, you ain't supposed to investigate it, right? Now all of a sudden they care about kids. What have they done for kids as far as education? What have they done for kids as far as mental health? What have they done for kids as far as physical health, right? But now all of a sudden they care about the fucking kids? They don't give a fuck. Anyway, that's my show. I gotta go. I got another show later on, and I gotta get up out of here because I got a birthday show. I'll see y'all tomorrow. That was a short show. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Thanks for everybody donating. At least I got some gas money to get there and get fucking back. See y'all later. I'm out there, son of a bitch.